It is currently 10 p.m. and I'm sitting in my kitchen and I'm going to answer some questions about memberships. I asked this a few weeks ago. What are your questions about creating on-demand video content or memberships? And I actually want to go one by one and answer some of those questions. I just felt inspired to do that right here and right now at 10 p.m. on a random weekday. So let's do it. So before I do that, I do want to share that I have created a course to help you do this step by step. So creating an on-demand video library, and I will make sure to leave a comment with the link to that if you're interested. I can't hide it because I know so many people would benefit from this. So that's why I'm talking about it a bunch. But let's answer some questions to really get into it. The first one, Christina asked, how do you organize the library to follow a path or simply to find a video without scrolling endlessly to search for one you might want to do? Great question. So I'm going to answer this as if you're creating a video library in Offering Tree, and it's probably going to be similar for other on-demand libraries, and there's a couple things you can do. Number one, you can search your video library. There's a search bar that you can search through your videos, and as long as the titles are very clear, like it has the duration, like 30 minutes, has the style of yoga, maybe it's vinyasa or yin, and then it has anything that the class is about, people can search. So if they wanted to search like shoulders, just make sure shoulders is in the title. The other way that you can organize your videos is through tags. And these tags are different than contact tags in your email. This is tags for your video. So this is for organization. So there's something called a filter, so people can filter, and then you can decide on the tag titles, like if you want length to be a title, and then the tag would be 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, and you can decide if you want it to say like class style, and you can choose vinyasa, yin, so that way someone could see all of the yin classes. So every time that you upload a video, you can tag the videos appropriately, so it makes it really easy for people to filter. All right, so a couple ways you can do that is filtering and the search bar that is on, that's optional to add on your video library. So I think that's going to be very similar from platform to platform, is you'll have the ability to tag each video, so it's you're able to filter, and also people can search. So that's one of the features that I really like that Offering Tree does allow you to do. So that's kind of cool, but that's how you would organize it. So yes, you can have maybe multiple playlists or different pages that have different topics, or you could just simply say you can search. I do also think it's important to have a beginner or start here section to give people a guideline of where to start. So there is that. But let's move on. Next question from Josie. How much content should you have prepared and posted online before launching your membership? You don't need anything, 0. And I know I say that and you're like, come on, I know I should have at least 10 videos or at least, something. So you don't need any content, but what you need is a promise of a transformation and excitement for what you're going to offer. You can sell a lot on a promise. So if you are confident in saying, this is what I'm going to offer, I'm getting the first 10 people in at a discounted rate as a founding member, and you are going to help me build this thing. So the answer to that is you don't need anything. You need a promise. You need a clarity statement, like this is what it's going to be. You don't even need a name though. You could have a membership that doesn't have a name, just saying, I am going to provide you with 1 video a week or 2 videos a week, whatever it is you're starting with, and say, we're going to start, July. We're going to start after July 4th, or we're going to start in August. We'll start in September. If you get in now, you're going to lock in the lowest rate, and you'll be in. You're going to help me build this thing. You're going to help each other, and you'll get the most out of it, and you'll have access to maybe some special things later on. So anyway, you don't need any content to get started with a membership. It's called a founding member launch. And when you launch it, you're really telling people, this is what's going to come. I don't have it right now, and that's okay. What happens when you do have tons of content already, if you had a large video library of classes, a lot of people get overwhelmed. And even if someone does enroll in one of those like multi-thousand class memberships or subscriptions, they often do the latest videos. They'll go straight to what's the latest. I want the latest. They're not going to typically dig far, far back. It's like, I just want to do the most up to date. What is the one that I can do right now? So people like to stay up to date with, the trainings and the practices. So you don't have to have been creating videos for many, many years. In fact, the best place to start is with what you've got right now, and then keep moving forward. Okay, next one. Sherry said, I'm following this. I've been prepping videos and wondering about membership pricing. Okay, we'll touch on pricing a little bit in a moment because someone else had that question. But let's move to Elise asked, how to compress videos without losing quality. I have shared a video on Handbrake compression a bunch of times. It's a software called Handbrake, B-R-A-K-E. And handbrake.fr is the website to download that. Now you can find tutorials on YouTube. In fact, I probably should just put my tutorial on YouTube, shouldn't I? So I can do that because someone mentioned that they were looking up stuff on YouTube recently for Handbrake, but my tutorial was actually a lot better. So I will go ahead and do that so that it's easy to find. You can look up Ashley Hagen and Handbrake, and hopefully that will show up. But I think I'll just download the Loom video. I created it somewhere else, so I've shared that multiple places, but of course it's not searchable if it's not on a search engine. So I'll make sure to share that, but I always use Handbrake. Handbrake is also available on your phone, so you can download Handbrake through the app, through the store, whatever, the app store. Handbrake, that's what it's called. And so that's how I do it. So you don't lose a ton of quality, I don't think anyway, unless you're really comparing it to 4K ultra definition movie theater quality, which I don't think is necessary anyway. Right now I have a webcam and my computer and some kitchen lighting. It is dark outside. I don't have any other lighting, and I'm here sharing Q&A with you. Okay? So you don't need anything fancy pants. That's what we say? Okay. Let's see. That's how I compress videos without losing a lot of quality, but it will make the size like 1/10 or 1/6. It will really lower the size so you can upload faster, stream faster, and better for you and for your students. Okay, this is what Lisa asked, what are the best settings in Zoom to record at higher quality? I've read the instructions, still can't figure out how to change the settings. Yeah, I know. Zoom is not going to be high quality no matter what you do. Now, things you can do is make sure that you're recording to your computer. That will be better quality than recording to the cloud. And then in the video settings, if you click on the video, the little arrow, or go to the settings of your Zoom screen, you have the option to click HD or not HD. So click on HD if you want the quality to be better. That may just be for streaming though. I don't know about the recording. My thing I do, and I have recommended a lot of people do, is to use, if you want higher quality, is to record on something in the background of Zoom at the same time. So I've got a QuickTime recording going on now. I'm recording using QuickTime on my Mac computer. I actually set that in the background, and then I hit record, and then I see the Zoom grid. So I put the Zoom grid in front of me, and the recording's going on in the background with the same microphone set up, the same webcam, and it works really, really well. She also asked though, because QuickTime is not available to non-Mac users, she asked if she could use OBS and broadcast through Zoom. Absolutely, you can do that. Yes, yes, yes. So if you use OBS, Open Broadcasting Software, which is free also, you can record using OBS. I have another tutorial on OBS, and it is on YouTube, but it's unlisted. So let me go ahead and publish that too, because I think those ones are going to be really, really helpful. So I'll publish that one and the Handbrake one. And anyways, what was I saying? Yes, but you can use OBS through Zoom. I I don't know the technicals of how it's set up. You can ask Google or ChatGPT or something to help you with that process. But you can stream OBS into Zoom, and I believe it will be better quality. And if it's not, because Zoom compresses it itself, you can also record through OBS in the background. So even if you're not streaming directly through OBS, you might just record, have OBS on in the background, hit the record button, and then you can be on Zoom without recording. So yeah, that's for your computer, okay? Awesome. Someone said, how much to charge? That is totally up to you. This is something that I don't think anybody can specifically answer. So charging, as far as on demand, what I talk about in my course is you get to decide on your pricing structure. So if we're talking about on-demand videos, you can charge per class for someone to buy per class. You can charge a rental fee, so someone has access only to rent and they can't download or they won't own it. You can charge it based on like a series. You can say you get unlimited access for a month. You can do a membership that's monthly, quarterly, yearly. And so the amount is up to you. But what I will say about memberships is to start lower. So you've got high value, you don't have a ton of content yet, you get some founding members in and lock in that price for them forever until they cancel. So lock in the price. So let's say you start at $25 a month, and then you give yourself a deadline and say the price is going up in 2 weeks, or the price is going up on this date, and you raise it to like 30. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can even be from 25 to 27. And then as you keep going, you might raise it more and more, but you will hit a ceiling. You're going to hit a price point at which the people are going to start to be like, I wouldn't pay that much for it. So you'll hit that point and go, okay, I'm not going to raise the price more, or we're going to stick to this price point only. And that might be a little lower, it might be a little higher. It really depends on what you're providing for those students in that membership. How much they've invested into the community, that's a big thing. How much they're getting out of it, how much you're not overwhelming them with more and more content, and how much they're seeing a transformation. But people will initially join for the content, for the promise of what you're going to give them, but they're going to stay if you create an amazing community. It's the community that wins every single time. That's what keeps people in the doors. But if you have cancellations, there's always reasons. No, that's fine, that's great. But what you want to do also is to make sure that you give them a great experience as soon as they join, no matter what the price is. So if the price is $15 or if it's $150, you give them a great experience so that they want to stay in the membership. So how much to charge? Start with a founding member rate that feels like, wow, this is a steal. And then bump it up. And as for individual prices for classes, I mean, that could be all over the place. If you're selling a workshop, maybe it's hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If it's a class, like if you have a weekly yoga class, maybe it's just like a $5 or tiered pricing option. Maybe you set it up where you can choose $5, $10, or $15 so people can choose the price. You can set it up where it's a suggested amount, sliding scale. You can choose any amount between $10 and $35. You get to choose. So how much do you charge? You get to figure that out. You get to test some things. I have been testing my pricing and different methods of delivering my courses and my programs for a very long time. So sometimes I do memberships, sometimes it's a course, sometimes I do workshops. So you've got to just get in there and do it. All right. Hannah asks, do series work better or individual ones? How much you got to teach? What do you need to teach your students? Sometimes an individual class is all someone might want or need, and sometimes a series works well. So there's no best or right way. So there's two things you can consider here. Is number one, how best do your students learn? Like, is one long 3-hour workshop overwhelming? I found that to be true with a beginner yoga workshop. I've done a few that were like 3 hours long. So overwhelming. It would have been much better to break it up into like 4 weekly 1-hour classes and just call it a series. So if it's a lot of information, it is nice, especially with our limited what is it, like attention spans, that sometimes to break it up so people can absorb and feel and get that benefit rather than having one long class if it's the same content. Now, if it's like you're teaching weekly classes or class here and there, and it's like a bundle of classes, if you're looking to do like a 3-part class bundle versus a one-time class or workshop, I don't know, test out both ways. That's the beauty of this whole online teaching thing, is you get to test it, you get to try it out, and there's really no harm in doing something multiple times. In fact, I encourage you to do that. So the first time you run a beginner workshop, maybe it is a one-time beginner workshop, 2.5 hours. And the next time you try out a 4-week series. And then the next time you try maybe 4 days in a row. So is it weekly? Is it daily? Like, what is going to be best or resonate best with your clients and your audience? Try it all out. Test it. Okay. Heather then says, oh, this is a little longer one. Let's read it. I want to offer bundles of classes and people can choose their price based on what they can afford, knowing I donate 20% to a charity. Oh, how beautiful. And I have a website and I did a bundle using YouTube Unlisted, and I know that I have not promoted it well. I want to know, 1, what's a good platform? 2, I'm based in France, by the way. I would love to know what best settings for iPhone. Okay, so let's start with first a platform. So as far as French platforms, I am not 100% sure on platforms in other languages or ones that are very specific in other languages. I think it would be best to research in like yoga groups that are in France or in French, to ask them what is best known out there. I have known people though who speak either Spanish or French or another language who have successfully used Offering Tree, which I often promote or talk about. And you could use it just for the video library component because you have a say on the description, the titles, all the things, and you can put that into your own website. So you can take the video library and put it there. Another way you can do it is Vimeo, or really any course platform would work too, but just make sure that you have the option for sliding scale or tiered pricing. And that's one reason, a big reason why I really like Offering Tree, is you can set it up where it is pay what you want, or here are the options, choose a price, or sliding scale. Don't call it donation though, because you can get in trouble for that, because donation does imply it's going to a charity. And even though it's going 20% is going through you to a charity, payment processors like Stripe will cancel your account if you're doing charity work. Like if you're doing like a GoFundMe or crowdsourcing. So don't use the terms donation, although saying that I donate 20% to a charity, that's great, awesome. But what they're doing is actually paying what they want, pay what they can, choosing your price, that kind of thing. The next question was, what's the best settings for iPhone 14, Road Go 2, and 2 big lights so I can have a standard setup and just dedicated space? Feeling overwhelmed? Yes, okay. So if you have a phone and the Rode Wireless Go 2, great, you plug that in using the correct cables. So if you don't know those, you can always look at my videos on YouTube. There are some cables. So you'll use your phone, probably going to be horizontal, right? So this is iPhone 12. So you'll plug in your Rode Wireless Go, set it up on your tripod. If you want great quality, you're going to use the back-facing camera. If you want okay quality, you can use the front-facing camera. But I think the back-facing camera is going to be a little more crisp and clean. You want to set it up in a place where they can see you and you can record that video. If you're using the wireless microphone, you can open up your camera app and simply push go, like record. And then as far as lighting goes, that's something you want to test out too. So 2 lights on the sides of you will eliminate shadow, but it is nice to have one also in front of you or overhead. So if you've got windows, that can help. Just play around with where to put the lights. If you've got two on the side, see what that looks like. If you've got an overhead light, that might help. So try that. I really like having my 2 lights on the side, and then I have a ring light in front of me. So that's pretty good. There's still some shadows because I'm close to the wall, but I'm not too concerned about that. So lighting, it's not a huge deal, but just get started. So you plug in your microphone, you hit the record button, and you record. And on your phone, you have the option, if you go to your video, if you go to like you're creating a video, go to your video, right in the top, or right here. Video. You have to click on video. In the top, it says HD and 30 right here. So if you click on HD, it'll turn to 4K. If you click on 30, it'll change to 60. What does that mean? So 60, oh, and 24. Oh, cool. Okay, we're gonna go back to HD and 30. So 30, that number is the number of pictures per second, frames per second in your video. So 30 frames per second is half the size of 60 frames per second. Keep it at 30 or the lower one because we're not moving that fast with yoga or with really anything we're doing. As far as like what we teach, even headshot videos, you're not moving fast. 60 would be like action shots. Like you want the sports, you want the football catching, you want the kicking, you want the gymnastics twirling. Like that would be 60. Or if you were going really fast with some fitness type things, maybe you'd want 60, but it doubles the size, remember? And I keep things to HD and not 4K. So HD is still high definition, but it's not 4K, which is extra big. So I'd keep it lower, just for ease of use and for just simply, not because you really, if you talk to a photographer or a videographer, they're gonna be like, you want the best quality, highest quality. That's gonna slow you down. It really is. And you don't need it. You just have to get something out there. So keep the quality high, but not high. Like keep it good enough. Your phone is awesome. It's gonna be really, really great. But you don't need it like the highest of high quality. Okay, let's go back. And you said, I know that I'm just using that as my story to not move forward. I've sold some, but I want to make this work. Yeah, just keep going at it. I'm gonna have to start just doing those videos. That's why I'm doing this right now. Like it's 10:24 p.m. I'm doing it right now. You can do it right now too. 10 p.m. I have to get up at 5 a.m. for my 6 o'clock yoga, or 5:30 for 6 o'clock yoga. But here I am making a video. I'm gonna post it right after too. Okay, Clem, you're saying that for memberships, where do you keep and store all the videos? If you use Offering Tree, is there a limit? Do you have to have accumulated content before you offer a membership? Hope it's not too late to ask. That was two weeks ago. You're not too late because now I'm answering. So number one, I already mentioned you don't have to have a ton of content before you start a membership. You just have to have a plan of what you're going to offer and be very clear about it and excited about it. Because if you're not excited about it, they're not going to match you. So the more excitement you can bring to it, the better. And that doesn't mean like false excitement, like you have to be, wee, yay, like cheerleadery. It means you have to be confident and clear on what you offer. Is this for me? Yes or no? For example, my course on teaching you to do this, I teach you how to create an on-demand video library or a membership with or without the membership component in my course called Build an On-Demand Video Library. And I'm very excited about it and confident that it can help you. I'm also confident to say that it's not for people who are already using some other system or platform or who don't want to use Offering Tree, because it is a course that walks you through Offering Tree specifically. And I'm very clear about that. I can answer that question with confidence. I'm not trying to fit everyone into a box. So if that's not you, if you're like, hey, I'm using, someone said Arquetta, I'm using Uscreen, I'm using something else, great. My course is probably not going to be the best fit for you because it's for those getting started with Offering Tree, okay? Or if you don't have Offering Tree yet, it's for those of you who are okay with using that as a system. So where do you keep or store all your videos? Do you use Offering Tree for a membership? I personally, right now, I still upload directly to Offering Tree. There is no limit to the number of videos, which is amazing. No limit to the number of videos. However, per video, it's 4 gigabytes, which is really large. And that's why I talk about compressing the videos, because if you upload a 4 gigabyte video, the streaming quality for someone with not so great Wi-Fi will be really slow. So I would definitely compress those videos. anyway. So there's no limit. I have hundreds of videos on my Offering Tree site, like probably close to 500 or 600. Yeah. And it's great. It's awesome. I used to bulk upload like 20 at a time. Now I do it one by one because it's a different kind of method. But you don't need to host them in Offering Tree. You could make them unlisted in YouTube. You could host them in Vimeo. You could also take the YouTube video and embed it into a course platform, or share the links in your course platform. Or there's a lot of other ways you can do it. Where you store your videos, you'll want to store them on some kind of video hosting platform. Offering Tree does offer video hosting. A lot of other websites do not. So if you're using Squarespace, that's probably an additional fee. If you're using Wix, I think there is for additional fees to host your videos. But like course platforms like Teachable, Kajabi, and Thinkific, they also host videos. You can upload directly to them, which is cool. But Vimeo and YouTube are other ones as well. YouTube is free, but also know with YouTube, the links are going to be shareable. And you've seen YouTube embedded videos, right? So at the end of it, like video recommendations pop up that maybe are not your videos. So it doesn't quite have that same like professional feel as if it were directly in your course platform. All right, that is it. That's the questions on creating on-demand yoga video content for memberships. I hope that was helpful. And if you have any more questions, I love answering these and I love talking through all of this stuff. It really, truly excites me when I can help yoga teachers and fitness professionals and people in service-based industries to enhance their online presence, to offer something for sale and finally get out there and help their clients, help people find them, help them to grow in your memberships and your courses. So it's something that I'm just super passionate about. But I am tired. It's 10:30, so I should get off. I'm gonna just go ahead and upload this right away. Please leave comments so I can wake up in a few hours. I'll wake up at 5:30, 7 hours from now. I'll wake up at 7:30 and see some comments from you. So feel free to ask more questions. This was a fun thread to go through because I did do a webinar on this, but I didn't answer all the questions. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to come back and actually do this Q&A and get in here and help you guys with some of those questions. So hopefully that was helpful. And if you're interested in that, what's it called? The course. I'm so tired now. The course that I just created, go ahead and click the link and get in. We will do some live Q&A on Zoom for anyone in the course very soon, probably next week. So I'm going to be posting about that too tomorrow. I'll share, hey, here's some dates, I'll set it up. But that way you know you're not alone. And if you go through the course, it should only take you maybe a couple hours. And then we can talk about, we can answer some questions in real time for those who are inside. Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you later.